Well, Fox News alert, a New York appeals court just this morning has thrown out President Donald Trump's massive civil fraud penalty. The decision from a five-panel group in New York's appellate division changed the original decision that stood to cost Trump over $500 million. One appeals judge calling the lower court's penalty an excessive fine that violates the 8th Amendment of the United States Constitution.
All right, we back. Now let's talk about what just went down in New York with Trump. The wire's got both sides of the aisle all fired up. Listen to this. So here's the deal. Trump was hit with a massive $500 million penalty for allegedly lying about his net worth to banks and insurers. Like saying his penthouse was triple the size it actually was. Now, Judge Engeron said Trump padded his financial statements for years and slapped him with a $355 million fine plus interest that ballooned to over $500 million.
Tonight, President Trump out with the federal law enforcement he's deployed to the streets of D.C., touting progress in his crackdown on crime.
We've had some incredible results. It's like a different place. It's like a different city. It's the capital.
All of it as the president is celebrating a major legal victory with a New York appeals court throwing out a roughly $500 million civil judgment against him.
I had a victory today. You know, they stole $550 million from me with a fake case, and it was overturned. They said this was a fake case. It's a terrible thing, but that's a nice victory, you know? I mean, it's not bad.
The five-judge appeals court was deeply divided. Two said Trump was correctly found guilty of fraud. Two said he should receive a new trial, and a fifth judge said the case against Trump should be dismissed. All five concluded the penalty against Trump was excessive and violated the 8th Amendment. One judge writing, while harm certainly occurred, it was not the cataclysmic harm that can justify a nearly $500 million award to the state.
It was a witch hunt. And I've had more witch hunts than any human being, I think, in history.
The ruling's a huge blow for New York Attorney General Letitia James, a Democrat who brought the case in 2022, accusing Trump and his family real estate business of inflating his net worth to get better terms on loans. James plans to appeal, and she highlights the ruling that Trump committed fraud still stands, writing yet another court has ruled that the president violated the law and that our case has merit. It all comes as the Trump Justice Department investigates James, both for bringing this case and for new allegations she committed mortgage fraud. An attorney for James has called the investigations political retribution. Even though he now doesn't have to pay the financial penalty, the president's civil case is not completely over. The ruling leaves in place restrictions on the ability of Trump and his company to do business. His legal team is now expected to keep appealing.
But now, a New York appeals court just threw the whole fine out. Gone. Poof. They said it was excessive and violated the 8th Amendment. Yeah. You know, the one about cruel and unusual punishment. Now, basically, they're saying you can't bankrupt somebody over this. Trump's calling it total victory on Truth Social, saying that the courts had the guts to reverse a disgraceful decision. But hold up, this ain't a full win. The court still said he committed fraud, and they banned him and his two oldest sons from running companies in New York for a few years. The judges were split, like 323 pages of opinions split. Some actually backed the fraud finding, while others said the whole case was political. One judge even said the Attorney General was trying to destroy Trump's business and derail his political career. Now that's wild.
You might remember that New York Attorney General Letitia James' office says despite this decision, they will not be dropping the case. Let's get some thoughts from Andy McCarthy. He's a former U.S. attorney. He is a Fox News contributor. He is on the phone with us. And last summer, you were helping us every single day as President Trump sat in that courtroom. Letitia James, the AG, she happened to be there as well. And at the time, I remember, Andy, you said that you thought this could be the outcome once the appellate court got a hold of it. What are your thoughts this morning?
Well, I think, Dana, that Trump may be ultimately completely exonerated on this. For now, the penalty goes. There was division in the appeals court about the merits of the underlying suit. But as you point out, what they found basically under an 8th Amendment theory, that's the amendment that prohibits cruel and unusual punishments. There was such a mismatch between whatever wrong was actually established in the trial and the outrageous penalty that was imposed for it, which was, I think, $355 million, which with interest and other costs is already up to about $530 million now because it continued to accrue for a while. That was such a ridiculous mismatch between what the penalty was and whatever the wrong was that was established, that had to go. The court is leaving in place some other what they call injunctive rulings that were made by the court. So some things have to be sorted out, like how much monitoring Trump's organization is going to be under. But he's out from under the most important part of the case, obviously. And I think there could still be an appeal to the highest appeals court in New York, the Court of Appeals, where they will deal with the question that seems to have vexed the appellate division, which is the whole merits of the case and whether Letitia James, the Attorney General in New York State, should have been able to use a consumer protection statute that had never been used in this way to try to establish a fraud case based on sophisticated financial actors, where, this is not a situation that a consumer protection statute was ever meant to apply to.
Letitia James, the Attorney General, she fired back, saying that the court confirmed that Trump broke the law. So both sides are claiming victory. Isn't that classic? Now, Trump's team says his financial statements were deceptive because they had disclaimers and the banks did their own math. Plus, the loans got paid back. But the state says that kind of exaggeration messes with the system, makes lenders take risks they wouldn't otherwise.
And Andy, we're just getting some new reaction in from the White House right now. If we can pull this up, this is from Trump spokesman Stephen Chung saying, quote, Letitia James' political crusade against President Trump, which is barred by the statute of limitations, and where she ludicrously valued Mar-a-Lago and Palm Beach, Florida, as worth a paltry $18 million, as well as committed a ton of other fatal errors, is just another failed skirmish in the discredited lawfare campaign against President Trump, his family, and his business that other Democrat prosecutors are dropping left and right.
Now, this case is just one of many cases that Trump is juggling. He's appealing a criminal conviction, a defamation case with E. Jean Carroll that cost him $83 million, and now this fraud case. And yeah, he's already back in the White House. So what does it mean? It means that the legal system is still wrestling with how to handle powerful figures. It means courts don't always agree. And it means Trump's legal drama is far from over.
Andy, real quick final word to you. Letitia James was sitting in the front of that courtroom every day smirking, and looks like she lost today.
She lost, but I think, Bill, Trump is president because of lawfare. And I think this was just it was a big part of it, but it was just one part of an overarching campaign in which Trump actually won sympathy from even people who weren't particularly sympathetic to him to begin with, but who saw if this could be done to him, it could be done to anyone.
Pretty incredible, and much more to come as we parse through this news today. Andy McCarthy, thanks for joining us.
If you think this ruling was fair or totally rigged, drop your take in the comments below. Let's talk about it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because this channel is about cutting through the noise and breaking it down so anyone can understand what's really going on.